When it comes to attraction, there are certain qualities that draw women in like a magnet. We call the men who possess these traits high value because women find them incredibly appealing on a deep innate level. By understanding these 12 instantly noticeable characteristics, you can work on developing them within yourself. 1. Perfect grooming and style. While physical appearance isn't everything, how a man presents himself does make an instant impression. High-value men understand that paying attention to grooming and personal style conveys self-respect and pride in oneself. You'll immediately clock the guy who has put obvious thought and care into his look. Notice the neat fit of his stylish, yet understated outfit choices that flatter his physique. His hair will likely be perfectly coiffed in a way that looks intentional without being overdone. Even details like clean, trimmed nails and minimal, non-overpowering cologne application point to a high level of self-care. A man's outward presentation provides clues about his inner self-regard. 2. Captivating hint of cologne. Speaking of cologne, a high-value man's signature scent can work wonders for his appeal to women. It's not about bathing in overpowering, off-putting clouds of fragrance. Rather, these men seem to have just the right amount of a crisp, tasteful cologne that deliciously lingers in the air around them. You may find yourself wanting to inch a little closer whenever you catch an intriguing whiff of his cologne. It awakens your senses and leaves you curious to experience more of that tantalizing aroma. A high-value man's cologne enhances his personal scent rather than masking or overwhelming it entirely. 3. Innate masculine presence. Importantly, there's an undeniable masculine presence to the way high-value men carry themselves. It's not about dripping with machismo or resorting to over-the-top posturing and bravado. True masculine energy arises from an innate place of grounded strength and confidence. From the way he moves to his vocal tone and physicality, a high-value man projects quiet power through his body language. You'll feel his attractively masculine vibe in the room before he even opens his mouth. At the same time, this intensity gets beautifully balanced with an easy grace and comfort in his own skin. 4. A disarming smile. A warm, genuine smile can work wonders when it comes to a man's charisma and appeal. While high-value men are self-assured, they also aren't afraid to radiate the joy of an uninhibited, disarming smile from time to time. When they do, watch how it instantly lights up their whole face and draws you into their warm, magnetic presence. It's the kind of smile that naturally crinkles the outer corners of the eyes in an endearing way. You can't help but feel that infectious positivity washing over you and compelling you to beam back at them. A high-value man's sincere smile acts like a force field, dissolving any awkwardness so you feel safe to relax into the moment. 5. Articulate speech and voice. Another highly noticeable trait of high-value men is the rich, articulate quality of their voice and speech patterns. Listen closely to the confident, well-modulated cadence when they speak. Their vocals project a depth that commands respect and conveys poise plus emotional intelligence. Word choice is also important for these men. Rather than relying on filler words or vapid slang, they communicate with purposeful diction and express themselves articulately. Having an actual conversation with a high-value man creates an experience of being fully heard, listened to, and understood on a deeper level. 6. Playful charisma. While innately confident, high-value men also can't help but let their playful charisma and sense of humor shine through in charged moments. You may catch that devilishly charming grin creep across his face, or an enticing raise of his eyebrow hinting at an exciting sense of adventure. There's an electrifying tension that this playful essence creates. One moment he's projecting total composure, and the next his piercing eye contact seems to challenge you to match his enticing radiance. This mercurial ability to blend raw masculine energy with a fun-loving spirit is extremely seductive. 7. Impeccable hygiene. Beyond the stylish wardrobe and grooming, high-value men seem to have impeccable overall hygiene down to the smallest details. You'll likely find yourself immediately noticing fresh, clean breath and bright, healthy teeth when he speaks. Even picking up on subtler clues like neatly trimmed nails and healthy, cared-for skin. The way he carries himself also hints at his stellar hygiene habits. His crisp, nicely laundered clothing won't be rumpled or stale-smelling. These little hygienic considerations don't go unnoticed and convey an impressive self-discipline. A high-value man understands that proper grooming is about respecting himself and others enough to look and feel his absolute best. 8. Articulate storytelling. When a high-value man speaks, you'll find yourself getting utterly lost in his ability to vividly narrate and tell stories with artful flair. More than just reciting dry facts, he paints rich scenes and evocative imagery through his descriptive words and varied vocal cadences. You're transported into the heart of the tale. The rhythm, specificity, and color in a high-value man's storytelling is simply captivating. Rather than mindlessly rambling, every narrative gem he spins for you contains intention and polish. Each anecdote is framed with context and fleshed out in fully immersive sensory detail to let you live vicariously through his experiences in the moment. 9. Self-deprecating humor. For as impressive and self-assured as high-value men are, they also possess an extremely attractive ability to not take themselves too seriously sometimes. You'll catch glimpses of an innately charming, self-deprecating humor that lets them poke fun at their own flaws and imperfections without missing a beat. There's a grounded humility to the way these men can open themselves up for good-natured ribbing and laughs at their own expense. Rather than artificial bravado, this self-effacing flair conveys an abundance of self-confidence. After all, only someone extremely secure could embrace their shortcomings so fearlessly. Their willingness to be imperfect disarms your own insecurities too. 10. Subtle social knowledge. High-value men seem to glide through social situations with intuitive know-how and advanced situational etiquette. From friend groups to professional settings, you'll quickly notice their polished social skills and consideration for group dynamics. Little thoughtful gestures like holding doors, making introductions, and modulating their volume all provide subtle clues. Part of their magnetic appeal lies in this ability to make others feel comfortable and put people at ease within their presence. With nuanced body language and speech, high-value men naturally assert themselves as leaders without dominating. They possess an innate understanding of how to facilitate positive connections all around them. 11. Wholehearted laughter. Despite their high-value status and unshakable composure, these men are far from buttoned-up stuffed shirts. You'll witness powerful moments where they let loose with unchecked, full-bodied, wholehearted belly laughs that seems to reverberate from their core being. It's a beautiful, almost childlike release. There's something uniquely compelling about a high-value man's unbridled, unapologetic laughter tumbling forth. This is his true, primal, authentic spirit emerging from behind the polished persona to remind you of the fun-loving human within. His guard lowers as guffaws erupt from his unrestrained joy, sparking your own in response. 12. Indulgent long gazes. Then there's the raw, visceral power of a high-value man's indulgent long gaze upon you. When their penetrating eyes hungrily trace every curve and angle of your face and body, as if committing you to memory, the smoldering intensity alone is enough to leave you flushed with arousal and delicious tension. Those lingering stares feel less like mere glances and more like an all-consuming, loving caress across your physical form. You'll catch your breath as his heavy-lidded eyes leisurely rake over you in wordless craving. The way he drinks in and savors your presence hints at the untapped intimacies yet to be uncovered. At the end of the day, a high-value man's appeal extends far beyond just physical appearance or superficial displays of wealth and status. What truly captivates a woman's interest on a deep, visceral level are the subtle, energetic qualities and character traits that he embodies. From his grounded confidence and composure to his intellectual curiosity and ability to create magnetic connection through vulnerability and authenticity, a high-value man possesses an intangible essence that transcends the ordinary. His presence alone sparks an electrifying tension that speaks to our most primal desires to be ravished by a well-rounded, self-actualized partner walking the path of masculinity with integrity. While individual preferences may vary, these are the kinds of highly noticeable personality signifiers that ultimately trigger a profound soul-stirring within a woman. The very notion of this multifaceted standard sets her every sense alight with possibility and awakens her to the truth that she deserves nothing less than to be cherished by a man of such undeniable value. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.